Bringing the meeting to order. First, we'll have the Pledge of Allegiance. Please stand. I pledge
allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
All righty, thank you. All right. Roll call, please.
Mr. Jenkins?
Here.
Mr. Martinson?
Here.
Mr. Thomas?
Here.
Mr.
Here. All righty. A little explanation on how the hearing procedure goes. We'll read the public hearing notice. Then we'll have our staff report. We'll hear from the applicant. Then we'll open the public portion of the hearing up for anybody that's here to speak for it. And then we'll ask anybody that wants to speak against it. Then we'll close the public portion of the hearing and we'll discuss it amongst ourselves before we would then vote on it. So, I hear the public hearing notice for case, where'd it go? For case number 879.
All right, are you ready?
Yep.
Case number 879 is Jacob Shaw of 2070 Kodaz Way. The request is for a variance from Article 18, Section 18.0503 of the Beavercreek Township zoning resolution to allow for a 7 feet by 9 foot, 7 by 9 foot storage shed to be placed 5 feet from the rear property line. The variance is requested as a reduction of the required 10 feet from the rear property line. Here's the zoning code text. When located at least 60 feet from the front property line and completely to the rear of the main dwelling, an accessory building or structure may be erected not less than 10 feet from the side or rear property lines. Here's the site plan that was submitted by the applicant. You can see the blue area there to the right side where the 7 by 9 shed is, 10 feet from the side property line, but the 5 foot from the rear property line is what he's requesting the variance for.
Alrighty.
Here's the aerial photography, just so you can get an idea of what it is. Normally, you would have kind of back-to-back lots, but in this case, there's the detention pond that is behind Mr. Shaw's house. So there is pretty much nothing back there other than the detention pond. And this is a zoomed-in view of the area. Staff recommendation due to the retention pond to the rear of the property and the small size of the shed, staff recommends approval of the variance. And that's all I have.
All righty. So if the applicant would like to come up and read the pledge there.
Yep, good. I, Jacob Shaw, 2070 Kodaz Way, solemnly swear that the statements I am about to make before the Beavercreek Township Board of Zoning Appeals are the truth to the best of my knowledge and belief.
All right, thank you.
So for this shed, I'm not sure, but it would be just, I guess, 250 or 247. When I applied for this variance, that house was for sale, and the new lady has moved in. So I wanted to work with my neighbors because people pay extra for the pond view, and I don't want that to decrease anyone's home value. So if right there is where like the proposed shed was going to be, but we're going to kind of, our hope is to move it just down a little bit to the about right there, so that because her porch is on the would be the southeast corner there, and with where that mouse is, if we move the shed there, she said she can still see the fountain and everything. So we're trying to work with our neighbors to ensure that everybody is happy with the shed. And with that being said, these yards unfortunately aren't that big, and with the 10 feet off each property line restrictions, it would just be a lot for, I've got an 8-year-old that we go out and play, some baseball stuff, and I got a 1-year-old. So just the future of our family would like to have, that extra 5 feet to be able to enjoy the backyard. So, That's really all I have. I don't know if there's any questions or anything like
So
that.
just for clarification, this is your original site plan, you're moving it more to the middle of the property now?
Yeah, because the neighbors, like I said, the house is for sale, so they're like, hey, we don't care, whatever you wanna do with it.
Sure.
Well, with the new lady living there, we put out some stakes and tape and everything, and she sat on her porch. And if we put it in that exact spot, it does block her view, which I don't wanna do. So me and my wife spoke, and we were good moving it down just a little bit, so that it opens up her view to the fountain is what she likes to see, so,
Great.
that's all I have.
And it's just a 9x7 shed?
Yes, sir.
Okay.
So the only reason you really want to set it so close is because you want to have more of an open area in
Yes,
the
sir.
backyard, is that correct?
And there's a slope that, it's hard to see here, but my backyard has a kind of a grade in the back. And again, if we bring it off 10 feet off the side property lines, we're good, because it's flattened out down there. But if we bring it in more towards, that's full 10 feet off the house in the front of that shed, with the pad and everything, we'd have to dig out some ground and make it level and stuff like that, which would kind of be a pain in the butt, but, more or less, our main focus is just having some more space so that our family can enjoy the outside time.
What's the depth of your backyard then, from the house to the property line?
The back of the house to the
Back,
property?
yeah. So it's like 50 feet?
Let's see here.
About 50 feet.
53 feet.
Wow. That is, okay,
Technology is wonderful.
pretty small.
Yeah.
Is it level, on the other side of your back property line? Is it level for a little ways before it drops off into the pond? It looks
Yeah,
like
it
it
drops
is.
about, so there's that first kind of line that you see right there, but then the second line is where it starts to drop off. Are you talking, yep,
Okay, I'm talking about on the
No.
other side of your property line. Is that, just for curiosity's sake, is that like an access area there they can get around the pond on the other side of your property line?
yeah, yep.
Okay,
And it goes over to, if I move over, there's a open lot there.
okay.
Yeah. Yeah, we thought we weren't gonna have any houses behind us, but they added a road on us, which we,
Where there's land, they will build.
I know.
That's as close as I can zoom in the area.
That's fine. Okay.
Yeah, I probably got some pictures of my backyard, if you guys.
Do you have a
want to
fence around your yard?
see. I do.
Okay. Okay.
Fence over the whole yard, the backyard area.
Looks like it, yeah.
Yeah, you can see the.
You see the
out-
shadow.
the
Yeah, you see the
shadow.
outline of it.
Is that,
Yeah.
what kind of, just like, what kind of fence is that?
It's, the nice, black, they used to be iron, but it's
With a
black,
black-
Aluminum?
aluminum, yes.
Okay, so it's not actually a privacy fence?
No, sir.
say.
And with the shed too, like we have to uphold, HOA standards and everything like that. It has to match the house. It has to be wood.
I was gonna ask you.
It has to be a shingle roof.
Okay.
And you don't have any problem with it blocking your view?
So, you can see kind of, where the back two, they're about on the back of the house, that's all porch right there.
Okay,
And
okay.
then it's the side of the house, or the back of the house is on the other side. So we've got it figured out. If like we put it right in a direct spot, it's good for us and it's good for her, so.
Looks like it's going to give you better view of it
I'm-
than where the original place was going to
I'm
be.
just surprised that you don't put it on the opposite corner.
Well, if we do that, so there's two windows that face out the back. That's our back.
See 'em right
That's
there.
our living room.
Oh,
So if
okay,
we did
okay.
that, we're gonna be looking,
Okay.
yeah.
I thought maybe those were bedroom windows or
Oh,
something.
yeah,
Okay,
that's the living room.
okay, okay. Okay.
So where you've tried to place it kind of maximizes your view of the pond and your neighbor's view of the pond.
Yeah, it does. I mean, ultimately, if we put it where I had planned, we would still have the whole view of the pond, but,
Right.
there's not much worse than a.
Taking the neighbor into
I can appreciate you working with the neighbor. That's- that's good.
absolutely.
That's nice of you.
You don't want her to miss the geese that come with you.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's funny.
Okay. All right, well, thank you.
Yep, appreciate you guys. Thank you.
We might have a question or two, but we'll, okay. Anybody here to speak for the project? Seeing none. Anybody here to speak against the case? Seeing none, we'll close the public portion of the hearing and open it up to the board.
Only, and this is kind of a minor thing that, it's hard to understand, is part of the breakdown when they say you should take a look at granting a variance or request, is that you grant only what they need. You don't, if a guy needs just, let's say 40 square feet and he comes in for 60 square feet, you could say, well, no, you're asking for something bigger than what you really need. He's got a nice sized backyard. Does he really need that extra 5 feet? To me, that's the only real issue about looking at creating the variance. Are we actually giving something that he really, more than he really needs? But that's hard for him to say since he wants to keep the yard open. I understand that.
Right, and the other thing to look at too is that if everyone around this pond wants to put up a yard barn, it's really not detrimental to anyone if it's 5 feet from the property line or 10 feet.
Right.
Correct.
Absolutely.
In this situation,
Yeah.
because there's not a house behind any of those around that pond. So
When I looked at it from a staff perspective, and that's exactly what my thoughts were, is because there's the pond behind there, that we're not like stacking them up back to back close to each other. And from a yard perspective, moving it back in this case grants the appearance of more yard than moving it up into the yard.
Right, I mean.
So that's what I looked at from a staff perspective.
The backyard's not super huge.
And
There
it's-
are
in
no
the building,
easements
he's
in the
asking.
back?
Is reasonable.
Not that I'm aware of.
Okay.
Yeah. Yeah, the building's a reasonable size. I mean,
I can't believe you,
pardon?
I can't believe these small lots in Beaver Creek, but, okay.
I know, it gets smaller and smaller.
Can't afford the bigger ones.
Most people don't want big yards.
I'm seeing the sell price on this thing too, so that was my question, was the HOA, is making sure like, we're just not gonna put up a,
And they're okay with your shed?
Yeah, they're okay
I
with
mean,
the.
we don't have any governing rights at
Yeah.
all with the HOA, but,
Yeah, so I put the shed on the same one as the driveway extension, if you can see there, I brought it off, and then I have like a white vinyl coming off the house in the back for the trash cans, because your trash cans can't be, visible.
Yeah.
So I submitted on the same one as that, and you have to do the dimensions, you have to do, I bought the shed from Castle Bale Bonds, but they contract with a Amish builder. So it's gonna be a build on site, that way we're not tearing up any yards, bringing the shed out. But the shed will be white, with, black, the corners are kind of with the black, cause my house is white and black.
Yeah.
And then a black shingle roof.
okay.
So it's just sitting on the yard, you're not having to pour a concrete slab?
No, but I am putting a crushed stone gravel pad.
Okay,
That's what a lot of people in the neighborhood have under theirs.
Well, it's pretty good.
Helps with the drainage
Well, you'll
too.
be the first one with the barn, right?
No, just.
Are there a couple more?
It's an old picture.
Oh, okay.
If you, zoom down.
we had a case, we had a hearing.
That's okay.
One similar, didn't we?
I just,
Thought I read
Not sure.
I read this thing yesterday, or the day before, I thought there was we had another one.
Yeah, if you, kind of go back.
that's all right. It's irrelevant. Okay, okay.
I'm just kind of looking around.
There's one.
Yeah, those lots are a lot bigger, which is nicer. Maybe we'll like to go there in a couple of years if they do more.
Are you allowed with the HOA to have a bigger building or not?
You can have up to a 10 by 12, but then again, if we were doing the 10 by 12, our main focus is to have room for our kids and to do
Yeah,
stuff out
you're
there.
cutting into, okay, okay.
Oh, there's one.
Yeah.
All righty.
We do.
Just want you to understand that you can't build a lean-to off the back of this and call it a lean-to, and I can go to the property line, put firewood or something under it, so, wouldn't be able to do that, so. If it's approved, you're already encroaching 5 feet, so. Anyway, anybody else got anything? All right, anybody want to go make a motion?
I'll make a motion. I'll make a motion to approve, case number, 879 to place a 9x7 shed 5 foot off the rear of the property line, and instead of the standard 10 feet setback.
Second,
I second as submitted.
John seconds it.
Mr. Jenkins?
Yes.
Mr. Martinsek?
Yes.
Mr. Thomas?
Yes.
Mr. Henry?
Yes,
Enjoy
thanks
it.
for coming in,
Yeah.
making it, you know,
You go
He's
get
got
in before
something
the
for you.
winter time?
keep everybody happy.
That's good.
Yeah.
Hang on one second. I'm trying something a little new. Decide this. It's got double check your votes and who was here.
Four, Roberts, 4 and 4, okay,
And approve and as submitted.
okay.
That way he's all done and squared away.
Do I still need to come in a day or two?
Nope, you'll be good.
Cool.
I'm gonna make him a copy.
You streamline that, huh?
I'm trying to make it as efficient as I can.
Good.
Hey, I
Wonderful.
like that.
Yeah. No, we like people to come in before the fact versus after the fact, and then we got a big mess, and then we gotta, you know, so we appreciate people coming in and doing it correctly.
You can go ahead and move on to the agenda.
Okay. All right, move on to the, approval of the minutes, I think is the next thing.
Yes, it is.
Minutes of 9/18/2024. I wasn't here, so,
But it doesn't matter, remember.
I know. I did sort of read them over, and you guys voted exactly how I would have.
For the fence variance.
Yeah. Yeah, I need to put a little wrought iron there on each, to take care of it.
So
I think somebody brought
I
that
went
up.
out and met with him the next day. He gave me a call so he could confirm, what he needed to do and everything else, and that's exactly what he's going to do.
Cool.
Which is exactly what I suggested he do in the first place.
Right,
So
right.
it kind of came full circle. So he's
Cool.
putting the sections in per each of those step-down sections, and once he gets around that corner, then he meets all the rest of the
Yeah,
requirements.
Beautiful. You got it. We gotta really
Well,
watch ourselves on, especially pools,
Yeah.
Like you said, someone said, I read in the minutes, pool's a big magnet for kids,
Absolutely.
so. All right, you have a motion on the minutes?
I make a motion to accept the minutes as submitted.
I second it.
All right,
Mr. Jenkins?
Yes.
Mr. Martinsek?
Yes.
Mr. Thomas?
Yes.
And Mr. Henry?
yes. All right, we have any other, business for the BZA at this time?
Are we gonna have a meeting next month?
As of now, no. So we have, just so you know what's going on, we have a couple of cases at the zoning commission level. We have the Walnut Ridge subdivision down on Indian Ripple and Alpha Bellbrook. It's just up from that intersection to the north of that intersection.
Indian Ripple and what?
Alpha Bellbrook
I heard that was a fun,
meeting.
yeah, I heard.
Oh, was that the one with the college?
No,
No.
it's the one where they didn't,
It's-
they didn't
it's
even open
a
up- they didn't even open up the meeting. They wouldn't open the meeting because of, like, I don't even know the story. I would love somebody's.
Oh, well, there was 3 members of the zoning commission
Yeah.
there. They wanted more of a board there to hear the case. The zoning commission did.
Yeah,
The applicant was fine with 3 members hearing the case and moving forward.
Really?
yeah,
Yeah.
they didn't even, they wouldn't open the case.
Yeah, so they didn't.
No, that's not right.
No, I know. And I 1000% agree with you on this matter. And the fact is that happened is an embarrassment to the township, and it's an embarrassment that that they allowed, like, I felt terrible. Like, seriously, like, that should never happen, ever.
That was a rough meeting, so.
You handled it way better than I
Whoa.
would. You handled that way better than I would have. Because I'd been like, come on.
Was there discussion about that after the meeting?
There was discussion all throughout the meeting.
That's what the meeting was
Yeah.
all about.
Did they have, oh,
They never got into the actual minute. They never got into the case. It was a 2-hour, like, from what I understand, it was a 2-hour SHI. We're off record, right? It's a
No,
2-hour.
no, we're
okay.
still-
You better close it.
So
Well,
anyways,
we
we'll
were
come back to
good.
that. So that's on there. Russ researched the campus environment. It's forwarded to, they're wanting to change some of the uses, and that's at regional planning right now. It'll go for the full committee next Tuesday or Wednesday night. I can't remember which night their meeting is. And that's all on the books for zoning cases right now. I am in the process of going back through and looking at some of your guys' cases for variances and everything else and trying to work on our zoning code a little bit. So that's gonna be a work in progress for a while. But there's some things that really need,
Well, don't put it out of business. No.
there just needs to be some solid things in the zoning code. So
You
we're
know,
gonna work
I-
on that.
And I've been on record as saying this before, that there should be a meshing of what we do here in the zoning. If we continue, and one example is fences for, on corner lots. We get a lot of cases in that.
Corner lots.
If we start seeing a lot of those and we feel that it's enough that we are granting the variances, then the zoning
Should match up.
should sit down and take a look at what the zoning code is and say, should we change it since we're getting a lot of requests like that? So far, that has not happened. I don't know if the zoning board doesn't really care about how it goes by and what we see continually. But to me, it seems that would do a lot for the people in a township if they knew that we're taking to the zoning board what we see continually here for variances and things like that. and
Well, if
see
there's
there
always,
needs to be
if
change.
we're always granting an exception to the rule, maybe we need to look at the rule.
That's what
Exactly.
basically,
But-
that's what I'm saying.
But the flip side of that, I appreciate what you say, but the flip side of this is not every one of those fence variance hearings is cookie cutter.
Correct.
I understand that, but do they take a look at it under the zoning code and make subtle changes on it where?
Or does it warrant subtle change?
Yeah.
It's just
Does
worth
it
taking a
warrant
look
subtle
at.
change?
Yes.
But,
Because, we've gotten into, some of them, there was a site distance issue, and we got them to chop off the corner
Correct.
of the fence. So, there were some that where we put some conditions on, as you will see. So, no, I agree with you. It's just like, I think they changed the square footage of outbuildings that people are allowed. I think they upped that.
right,
didn't
they did, yeah.
And then we still get hearings for people wanting even more, which that's fine.
Well, one of the interesting things about outbuildings is this is one of the few places, well, the only place I've been that's tied outbuilding size to primary structure size.
Right.
A lot of places tie it to lot size rather than the primary structure size. So the bigger the lot size, the
The
more
bigger the
accessory
building.
structure you can build.
Well, no,
So,
Beavercreek still, Beavercreek City ties it to the size of the,
of the lot.
of
or
the house.
Of the house, yeah.
That's
So-
probably where that came from.
Must be a Greene County thing.
Must be.
But, we'll look at some of that, maybe, a chart of lot sizes for accessory structure sizes. Plus, that way, it makes it a little easier than trying to determine that exact square footage of a house and do the calculations and everything else. It just gives everyone the same set of standards.
Yeah.
Instead of,
Consistency.
I build a big old house on my lot, so I get a bigger accessory
Yeah.
structure, even though they're the same lot size. So, we'll take a look at some things, and I'm in the process.
Well,
That's gonna be a long process.
But, I'm all for, personally, I'm all for build biggest building you can build. If you got the property to stay off the property lines, what you need to, I'm for it. I don't know.
Well, and yeah, exactly.
Right.
You'd rather have
Keep everything inside.
things stored inside than things stored outside
Right,
and
right.
what they get.
Instead of
But
anchoring in.
that's one of the things we're gonna look into. I wanna look at some fencing variances and different things and see if there's something we need to change. Accessory structure lot size or sizes, that's another one, specifically that come from you guys. There's some other things that we just
And I
need
read
to
it, I read in the
change.
minutes where somebody, maybe it was Greene County, changed the height of the fence around the pool from 6 feet to 5. That was a county thing?
That was the state.
Oh, state.
The minutes I was talking about.
Okay,
State.
okay.
And actually, that is a little inaccurate. Actually, the state changed it from 6 to 4.
4, yeah,
Oh, to 4?
4,
yeah.
You can
Oh,
hop over-
really?
You can hop over that, no.
Oh, wow.
yeah.
Okay, well, I want to close the meeting and, it got a motion to adjourn?
I'll motion to adjourn.
A second.
Got a motion, we got a second? Mr. Tenzick seconded it?
Mr. Jenkins?
Yes.
Easy
Mr.
for you to
Martinson?
say.
Yes.
Mr. Thomas?
Yes.
And Ms.
Yes, we are adjourned.